Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I know we're a little bit early today. Actually, we're a lot a bit early, 45 minutes early, but it's going to be in the 90s all week. And so a lot of the things I need to get done are in the morning. And if the heat gets too hot, I can't really be outside. But today is August 4th, 2024, and we're going to talk all about the crypto CBDC beast currency. So in Friday's show, Trump announced that he is completely behind crypto and Bitcoin. But let's take a look at his presidential record on crypto. When he actually called it the largest threat to the dollar, and he was actually correct back then, but now he's flipped the script and he's saying something very, very different. Good morning, everybody. Let's get into this. Now, I couldn't believe this, but I started digging into all this stuff and I found some things that I couldn't even believe. Trump's presidential record on crypto. Today, we're going to recount the crypto history and how many of these YouTube channels did we see drawn into this false hope, who actually helped build the crypto markets by their participation and also by getting their followers to actually participate in crypto as well. Let's start from the beginning, you guys. Bitcoin and crypto, it's actually been around for a very long time. But what happened is early on, people realized that the controllers were going to flip the script and they took complete control over crypto, and it will be used for the final mark of the beast currency. It was the plan from the beginning because they were the ones who made crypto and Bitcoin. Now, the proof is in where it's come and what has happened and all the broken promises that cryptocurrency made. I'm going to show you today irrefutable evidence that both parties, Republicans and Democrats, were involved going back even before Trump, but now Biden. They're all working together, and they use doublespeak to lure Americans into the crypto markets in anticipation of the final beast currency. What's this all about? Well, let's start from the beginning. The definition of crypto itself lies right here in the definition about its independence from government. It's a digital currency designed to work as a medium of exchange through a computer network that is not reliant on any central authority, such as a government or bank, to uphold or maintain. Now, might not be reliant on it, but this is doublespeak, isn't it? Because ultimately, governments have power. To think that there's this power that people have by using cryptocurrency is misplaced, because governments have the power, okay? And they've demonstrated that, which I'm going to show you today, how they cracked down on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency during the Trump presidency. Now, before we can even continue this discussion, never forget your history. Everybody remembers what happened to countries who tried to come up with their own currencies. Everybody remembers what happened to Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. Remember the dinar? A lot of people in the truth community were purchasing dinars in anticipation of that currency being worth something. And do you know what happened to those world leaders? They ended up dead. Trillions of dollars were thrown at these governments to crush them. The military might of the United States completely destroyed those governments for even thinking about trying to come up with a currency to challenge the dollar. So, what makes us think that the United States is going to let a bunch of sovereign domestic citizens get rich on cryptocurrency without our government having some kind of long game? Now, to completely understand this, we have to be thorough about our investigation today. So please listen closely. I know there's a lot of emotion surrounding cryptocurrencies, what people believe, but let's actually look at what happened in crypto history, okay? And we're talking at the beginning of the Trump presidency. We're going to bring that all the way through to the present. That'll be the show today. Because in the beginning of the cryptocurrency, people were lured in under false pretenses. They were told that crypto was completely secure and independent from governments, that it was basically impenetrable. Like you couldn't destroy it because it was on its own blockchain. And the implication of that was that people didn't think that they needed to pay taxes on these cryptocurrencies. But what ended up happening? Well, we all know what happened. What we thought was completely private was absolutely not private. So people were lied to. They thought that governments had no power or control over crypto and the crypto exchanges. Now, if you don't know what an exchange is, some of you got into crypto and some didn't. The exchange is basically how you trade the crypto. So all these sites popped up that could actually exchange for other cryptocurrencies or in some cases cash. Okay, but it was kind of a shell game. People had to move it into different currencies before they can convert it into cash. And there were all these different laws and rules in different countries and even different states. Believe it or not, here in the United States, there are different rules about what you can and can't do with cryptocurrency. And so therefore, there were already limitations on it. So what ended up happening? Well, the absolute opposite happened. But not until there were already many crypto billionaires and there was a lot of record usage of cryptocurrency, the rise of it. I saw it here on YouTube happen before my eyes. Started happening kind of just before the Trump presidency and then flourished under the Trump administration. But here's the thing, it was under the Trump administration that our government went after crypto exchanges under the Trump presidency. What happened? Well, the SEC, the FBI, they went after these crypto exchanges. They forced them to give up their private user information. Here's an article from 2018, right in the middle of the Trump presidency. Bitcoin price tumbles below $10,000 as SEC says crypto exchanges must register with the agency and give up all their users that thought they could be private within the crypto markets. Coinbase reveals U.S. state probes as it seeks to go public. So there were probes going on. I'm not going to read all these articles, but I've got them pulled up for you in case anyone wants to change what Trump was behind during this period. Now, the reason why we're talking about this is because of the hypocrisy. We don't know what we're getting with Trump. Now, I don't particularly believe in Bitcoin, and I'm going to explain that to you because it's going to segue into the digital currency that is on the horizon. Here's another article from 2019. Bitcoin price sinks amid SEC cryptocurrency investigation. So they were under attack during the Trump presidency. Lots of investigations going on. Now, let's keep going with this. There were all these crypto billionaires, millionaires, we'll say millionaires, probably not too many billionaires, that were using and trading, got rich off of cryptocurrency. And then under the Trump administration, they went after the exchanges, forced them to give up all of the private user data. And I believe this was so that Biden could play cleanup hitter and take all of these people's assets under Trump's civil asset forfeiture. Here's the evidence right here, you guys. Civil asset forfeiture. Trump resurrected civil asset forfeiture in 2017. And let's see here. Let's turn off this ad blocker so you guys can see this. Here's another article here. Trump just resurrected the ugly practice known as civil asset forfeiture. Now, what is civil asset forfeiture? Well, the way they trick people is they put these little puzzle pieces together on the chessboard, but no one can see the whole move. They only see the bits and pieces. And you think to yourself, oh, this is great. The government can go after people's assets if they've committed a crime. Well, during the Trump presidency, if you did not pay your taxes on crypto, which again, people were told, oh, this is a completely secure and independent currency. So why would you have to pay a government taxes? The government doesn't run the cryptocurrency. So why would we have to pay taxes on it, right? And a lot of people thought this way. A lot of people thought this way until they didn't, because they realized that the IRS was coming for them. Does that make any sense to you? Why would you have to pay taxes on a currency that by its definition is independent of a government? If it's independent of a government, then you should not have to pay taxes on that, correct? Now, a lot of people were against this civil asset forfeiture because they saw the setup. They saw that people who committed any crime now, because this used to be reserved for drug dealers or people that did heinous acts who had long rap sheets. They would come and take their brand new Lamborghinis and their cars and their houses and all this stuff, right? They did a whole TV show based off of this called Miami Vice. Many of you will remember that TV show from the 1980s and 90s. And in that show, Crockett and Tubbs were basically undercover officers, and they drove around in all of the confiscated assets from the drug dealers, and so that they could blend in, so that they were driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris, right? And they were wearing fancy clothes, all of this that they got from the drug dealers. Well, now Trump actually wanted this to roll out to the rest of American citizens who owed the government any money, which even could include if you were on, defaulted on school loans, let's say. In extreme circumstances, if they could show that you committed a crime, or let's say you owed the government money because they found out that, you were getting benefits that you weren't entitled to. That would be a crime, so they could now come after your stuff. And of course, people not paying taxes on Bitcoin. Now, who decided that people should have to pay taxes on Bitcoin? Who came up with that? Obviously, it came from the top down. So Trump has never been a fan of Bitcoin. Now let's keep going here, because there was no outrage by Trump about all this. In fact, he was happy that all this happened. Now, unfortunately, people have short memories. And they believe Trump when he now says he loves crypto. He just showed up to the crypto conference, Bitcoin conference, and got up in front of the crowd and said, hey, everybody, I love crypto. I'm behind it. We're going to make Bitcoin, blah, 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 right? That was Friday's show. If you hadn't tuned into that, we showed clips from that conference. But there's no repentance. Let's say if he is telling the truth, where's the repentance? Where's the apology? All we get is flip-flopping. There is no, hey, at first I was very skeptical of Bitcoin and maybe my administration didn't do what we could have to help facilitate it. But the proof is in the historical search records that he was attacking cryptocurrencies. Regulations, user private information, everything that crypto boasted about went right under the bus during the Trump's first term. In fact, Trump's SEC was all-out war on crypto during his term. They were carefully monitoring the exchanges, demanding that they register themselves and their users so that taxes could be collected later. And that ended up happening under Biden's 80,000-man army to come after these cryptos. Now, here's Trump's own words I am not a fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activity. So immediately he painted crypto with a black brush. This is his tweet from July 11th, 2019. So here we are, not even 5 years later, and he's complete flip-flop on it. Then Biden comes in and plays cleanup hitter, 87,000 new IRS agents. This was in 2022. And their main people they were going after, stated in here, is cryptocurrency. So, Biden administration unveils new crypto tax reporting rules. This was in 2023. So do one thing, say another. Now, let's go back here because there were clues about all this happening, weren't there? Remember Trump's COVID stimulus bill? Well, it included spending on cryptocurrency. There were studies that he stated and named in the COVID stimulus bill, which have absolutely nothing to do with COVID stimulus, right? Why would they be putting that in the bill? Now, we covered that. We did an hour-long show on that bill. We read through much of the bill. There were other things mentioned, like the Internet of Things, cryptocurrency, and all these other weird things that they were spending money on in this spending bill. And everyone just said, oh, great, we're getting a check. Well, in those spending bills, the pharmaceutical companies got trillions of dollars of your tax money to make the it. So we already knew that Trump was interested in controlling crypto. And I take it a step further. And I believe this was all set up from the beginning to transition crypto into government hands. They just needed to field test it first in the beginning. And in actuality, the very definition of a CBDC is a cryptocurrency that is controlled by a state. So they're one and the same. They are one and the same. And this will be the end of the dollar. So let's talk about civil asset forfeiture a little bit more, because this is very, very important. And if any of you know somebody who the IRS came after and took all their stuff who were heavily invested in Bitcoin, then please state that in the chat. Now, that might not be our demographic here because most people that come to this channel are awake to cryptocurrencies. And so they would probably not be involved in this. But you may know somebody that got hit by the feds and got all their stuff taken because they were led under false pretenses to think that cryptocurrency was a free currency. So, what else is going on? Back taxes, confiscation of property. Now, as we said in Friday's show, less than a year after all this went down, you ready for this? Melania was selling her own cryptocurrency. Now, Trump was not president at this time, but Melania was selling her own cryptocurrency. When did she launch it? On Saturnalia. She launched an NFT, Melania Trump NFT. And remember, during this time, Trump was still bashing crypto because Biden was president at that point, and Trump still had negative things to say about crypto, but yet his wife, Melania, was trading her own crypto NFT non-fungible tokens, launched on Saturnalia, which is December 17th, just before Christmas 2021. Now, what is this NFT? Well, it's artwork of Melania's eyes. Now, of course, Melania has trademark eyes. And this artist, here's the tweet here. Now, what's weird is she carries this tag on Melania Trump the official Twitter site here. Here's the actual artist here. Let's back this up here. So he drew Melania's eyes as artwork, and apparently this became an NFT digital currency. And as you can see there's some sound, but you can't hear that probably, by this artist. So here's Melania Trump. She's got this tag in here. Here's her site here. She retweeted this, Melania NFT hashtag, and this goes on and on. So she was interested in digital currency. Going back, you can see the dates here. You can't make this up. 2021, Bitcoin, digital currency. So this will be the segue into the new digital currency that will be controlled by world governments. We had full frontal attack on crypto during the Trump presidency, him claiming that it was the largest threat to the dollar. Meanwhile, Melania starts selling crypto. Then soon after this, Trump starts selling his own cryptocurrency, complete flip-flop in the form of his own NFT superhero trading cards. Many of you remember those. We covered those as well. Then comes President Biden. First thing he does is piggyback off of Trump's policies to cash in on anybody who didn't register or who didn't pay taxes on their crypto, with the 87,000 IRS agents whose sole purpose was to audit crypto holders. So we have two administrations working together to take over crypto, the supposedly free currency, and nobody can tell me with a straight face that crypto held up its promises as an independent currency free from government control, because it simply did not happen. So where's all this headed? Well, I believe that the picture paints itself, and this is where we get down to the bottom of things here. Cryptocurrency was a field test for the final digital beast currency. Yes, they are testing it on us, and they have been the whole time. They had to work out all the kinks of the digital currency. They had to be sure that they could tax it, control it. And now there is a blockchain ledger of all of your transactions that the government will be able to access, complete and total financial control, which has to be the segue to the mark of the beast, which is you cannot buy or sell without the mark. Now, here was the big red flag. We saw other clues, and I expressed these to you guys over the years, over the last 5 years or so. The other huge red flags where we knew this was going to happen was that almost every alternative platform outside of YouTube, where there was supposedly a truth community, every single one used crypto to pay its content creators. So we told you back then that crypto was a giant honey trap. Crypto was a giant honey trap. And it all brought us closer, one step closer to the digital dollar and the end of cash, the electronic banking system monitored, tracked, and taxed, which is the end of true financial freedom, because now they can start to employ social credit scores and anything they want to control your ability to spend money. See, they won't do that now because all people have to do is go around it and use cash, and they know they can't do it. Good morning, Kim, and thanks for the super chat. Much love to you for that. They know that people can just go around it, any kind of rules they place, because you still have cash, right? You don't have to care what their threats are. Well, we already know what they want to do. We already know they want social credit scores. We already know that they want to control money and punish you for not doing certain things, like for not taking a vaccine. We already know that. So what's going to stop them once the digital dollar is complete? Nothing's going to stop them. Nothing's going to stand in their way, because either you're going to be able to spend money or you're not. You're either going to buy and sell with it or not. So that's the truth about all this. Crypto is the one that gets the credit for the end of true freedom It's exactly the opposite of what it was billed. Exactly the opposite. So by now, I hope you see the setup. I hope you see the rope-a-dope. I hope you see the long con across these two administrations. I really hope you do, because we have always been the ones to build our own prisons. It's always been that way, you guys. Now, let me get you guys going on. Let's see here. I got a surprise for those of you that showed up today. I got the Honey Milk Ranch update for you. Let's see here. Put on my headphones. All right, let's take a look. All right, guys, let's go take a look at this wood pile. So the wood pile's been moved. There you go, right there. Remember that big green, kind of ugly looking structure that I made? Well, I moved it to the back of the house. It took all morning to get that done before it got too hot. It's probably in the 80s right now, maybe close to 90. It looks cool, but it's actually pretty hot. So let me show you what that looks like back here. Let's go into the back. So everything's back here and ready for the fall. I stacked all of the wood that so there's the green structure back here that I brought from the front of the house to the back of the house, because this is where I'll be burning most of the wood, in this fire pit area that was chopped. And there's the green structure there. So now it's in the back, and I had to reinforce it a bit. It's on kind of an angle there, but I got most of the chopped wood underneath there, so that's good. So that's going to be ready to go into the fire pit, and the rest of that's mostly rounds there that'll get chopped and stacked too. So now I'm ready for the fall and the winter. Some good fire pit nights and days. Now let's go over to the garden, because this is cool. Tomatoes galore. 3 different kinds of tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, hothouse tomatoes. I think I've got too many tabs open. This is why it's skipping, so apologies for the skipping video. Hopefully you can still hear it. What a blessing. Let's go take a look, you guys. Gosh, this looks so much better, all cleaned up. So there's the yard all cleaned up. You can see the difference between the grass here that I used the solution on versus the green grass to the left. Left is the green grass, to the right is the grass that I put the vinegar solution on. All cleaned up. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Right on. So here are the tomatoes. I'm pretty much letting them go nuts. As you can see, look at that tomato footage right there. Whoa, those are some big tomatoes. Those are gonna get eaten up real soon. So I'm really happy about that. Here's some more in there, and really excited about that too. There's the Romas. Look at those girls. Wow. Those will be ready to pick soon. Nice, 3 nice big Roma tomatoes. Put the leaf in the way. Just beautiful. What else is going on? Well, these peppers, these are flowering. Some of these are peppers flowering. They're trying to grow here. Let's see. Do I have any peppers? Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. Over here. Whoa, it's pretty big ones. Look at this. So that's cool. So that's going to be ready to go soon. All kinds of peppers popping off in here. So that's cool. Pretty good for my first parade. Now look at this hornet here. See him? This is what they do. They're called paper hornets. I think it's a wasp. And he's basically, what he's doing there is he's eating. He's going to take that back with him to his nest to make, he's like literally eating the wood. And this is what these hornets can do, you know, to your property. Now this is skipping so bad it's starting to annoy me, so I'll just kind of finish with I had to go through and abate a lot of these hornets because or wasps, because they were building, you know, structures everywhere, nests everywhere. And then you got to be careful, because if you're on the deck and they're underneath the deck, they can come out and sting you. Now here's some of the cherry tomatoes you can see here in the center of the screen. So those are starting to come in as well. So 3 different varieties of tomatoes, which is awesome. Can't wait to start picking those. And then what else? I think that's about it, you guys. Got that all cleared out, so it looks way better from the front there. And I think I show you a little bit more of this driveway. There you go. That's a really good picture of what vinegar and Epsom salt and dish soap will do to the grass. So this is a great idea for those of you that don't want to use, you know, any kind of toxic stuff to kill the grass in your driveway. And I think that's about it, you guys. Here's a good shot of it there too. Let's back that up. There you go. It's a really good shot of how it worked on there. Now eventually all that'll deteriorate and disappear. So yeah. All right, let me go back in the chat for a minute before I pop off of here. Yeah, we started early today because there's lots to do. It's going to be like 100 degrees today. It's going to be hot. So Roy says, buy Bitcoin. No, you don't want any part of that. That is the segue to the mark, unless you want to be part of making the mark of the beast. I mean, really, you guys, this is spiritual sickness. This is something you do not want to be involved in. Ask yourself what Jesus would do. Would Jesus invest in the very currency that was going to become the mark, that's helping to bring on the digital currency? Absolutely not. He would not do that. He would not do that. So, oh, if you spray a nest, that's a great tip. Vict, if you spray a nest, leave it hanging. Do not take it down. Other bees will not come back. There's a nest still there. I wonder if the wasps will come back, though. Interesting. Yeah, not only is it volatile, it's literally helping to create the digital currency. They're testing it on us right now. And yeah, they made some people rich doing it, but it's hard for a rich man to get to heaven, right? It's very, very difficult for that to happen. And maybe this is why. This is another reason to me that seems like it would be a reason as to why that would not happen. All right, you guys, I'm going to pop off of here. Thanks for showing up. Sorry for the skipping video. I'll fix that next time. I just wanted to be able to show those of you who are interested, you know, the update on Honey Milk Ranch. As soon as I get a harvest, I'll film that for you guys. I can't wait for next year because I know this peach tree is going to pop off and there'll be lots of peaches. So I'm excited about that as well. I love each and every one of you and have a great rest of your weekend. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Much love.